Now you can enjoy the happiness of the holidays for the next 6 months by paying less and making more money by getting 180 days of picks from your favorite handicapper at a huge discount. This limited time Christmas special gives you a 90-day all-access pass with a handicapper of your choice at WagerTalk.com, plus an additional 90 days of all-access passes at no additional cost, an $849 value. This comes out to just under $5 per day, includes all sports released and any 5% best bets, normally priced at $35 each. Your access with your handicapper will cover NFL through the Super Bowl, college football through the national championship, any NBA and NHL action, including playoff games played during access and the start of the MLB season. Plus, if your handicapper does UFC, soccer, tennis, or any sport, yep, it's included. Happy holidays from everyone at Wager Talk.
Happy Tuesday, guys. Carmine Bianco, WagerTalk.com with the final Stoppage Time show of 2021. We'll be back on January 11th. Some of the leagues in Europe are taking a winter break. The EPL continues on. So we are going to talk about some games in midweek, and we will have some free plays up at the end of the show for this weekend's Boxing Day EPL card for you guys. Joining me from WagerTalk.com, Nick Borrman, and from Sportsmemo, it's Pavlos Laguretos. Kevin Dolan has the day off today. Nick, we'll start with you first, man. How are things going? And a pretty busy weekend, a pretty busy couple days coming up. A lot of fixtures going on. What do you have up, and how are things going?
Yeah, things are going very well. Been on a great run over the last 10 days or so. Best bets have been on an excellent run since August, 60% with all 4% or higher plays. Have a couple 5% plays actually loaded, one for Tuesday today and one for Wednesday as well. So great time to check out a package, a week-long package, which I won't steal your thunder yet on the promo. I'll give that back to you, Carmen, in a second. But two 5% plays loaded Tuesday and Wednesday this week, and loving this midweek card. Serie A, I put a tweet out over the weekend, just like looking at different league records. And I'm like, so Serie A, I'm hitting 70%, up 62% bankroll gain, 28-12. And then I have La Liga, where I'm down like 35% and, hitting, 30% leagues. So I'm like, maybe I should focus my attention on one of these leagues versus the other. So luckily it's Serie A midweek this week.
Yeah, listen, I completely get it. My two best leagues this year have been EPL and Serie A. They're the ones that I put a majority of my focus on. I haven't released a lot of La Liga plays, but believe it or not, the toughest league for me this year, I'm barely treading water with them, is the Bundesliga. It's a little different this year. I haven't been able to figure it out. It used to be one of my favorite and best leagues to bet on. Pavlos, how are things, my friend? I'm guessing the weather is a lot better where you are than where it is here.
Actually, it started snowing in the mountains, so the temperature is a little lower. But that's normal. We're close to the new year, so it's all normal. As far as bets go, I'm coming off a pretty solid weekend. I had the best bet. It was also a best bet on the Sassuolo and both teams to score. Both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. I'm sorry, and also the 2-2 correct score. That was plus 15 units from that match alone. I've been doing a great job with anything over 4 units. I'm on a 5-1 run since December 9. I have a big 10% max bet of the month going live tomorrow. It's on the totals. I've been smashing this 10% this season. I'm on a 7-1 run in 8 plays, plus 60 bankroll gain. There is a lot of plays that I love from tomorrow's slate. It's a huge slate in the French League 1 and the Italian Serie A. There is a couple of more plays that I'm actually considering as a 5%. There's a lot of plays that I love from these matches, and I have a 4-pack up for today. So I think this is the best possible time to get an all-access pass and get all these plays. And I'm super excited to talk these matches with you guys.
All right. I'm just going to tell you guys now, do not buy Nick or Pavlos's plays until I give you a super good promo deal. Then you can head over and get all of their plays for 7 days. I'll have that promo for you after the Sassuolo Bologna game. Before we hit the first game, which is going to be Inter Milan and Torino, obviously it's Tuesday today, so obviously it's $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk and Sportsmemo. $2 Tuesdays is where you can get a featured cappers plays for only $2. Those are plays that normally go for $25 and $35. Included in those plays are some great promos over at WagerTalk. NBA play from Tony Finn. Tony Finn's been great in NBA. And a crossover play. One of my favorite guys, Tokyo Brandon with International Hoops. This guy is just on a heater. And we're not talking about a 1 month heater. We're talking about a 12-month heater. He's having a fantastic 2021. Head over to WagerTalk and you can get those plays for only $2. And at Sports Memo, Kevin Thomas. He has an NFL play up and you can get that for $2, including the promos that come with it. All right, guys, let's head right into it. Serie A fixture. We're going to have 4 games to discuss. 2 in Serie A, 2 in La Liga. We're going to kick it off with Inter and Torino. Inter minus 300, the draw plus 478. Torino plus a huge plus 895. Nick and I will look at this one. I'm going to go first. Listen, Inter are top of the league. I actually expect that they're only 4 points up on Napoli right now, and we're nearing the halfway point. But they are far and above, head and shoulders above a lot of the teams in this, or most of the teams, if not all of the teams in Serie A. They are on their way to winning their second straight Scudetto. Very good team. And nearly flawless at home. 8 games, six wins, 2 draws. They played. Now they get a Torino squad coming in, who have played well this month of December. 4 games, 2 wins, 2 draws, to moving out of that bottom 5 into the middle of the table and on 25 points. They're on their way to being safe. Usually it's that 34, 35 point mark. The one caveat of this is those 4 games came against teams in the bottom half of the league. You have to always look at who the competition are. You look at these 2 teams head to head. The last 2 years, Inter has swept all 4 games. When I look at this game, here's the issue I have with this game. The money line is high, so I'm not going to play the money line. When you look at the goal line, Inter's minus 1.5, and while they likely will get there, I just look at this Torino squad, and when they go to the road, when they head on the road, their style of play is completely different than it is at home. They're a much more defensive side. 8 games, only allowed 8 goals. They only scored 4 in those. 7 of their 8 games on the road have gone under the total. The other game was their season kickoff that landed on 3, a 2-1 game. The total here is 3, and that's where I'm leaning on this game. I'm going to go under the total in this game. I actually don't think Torino scores, so even if Inter covers that 1.5, it could be a 2-0 type game. So it is under 3 for me. Nick Borman, where are you going here?
I will echo a lot of what you're saying here, Carm. And, almost immediately I look at this game. I want to jump on Inter Milan just because of how well they've been playing. At this point in the season, although they only lead by 4 points, I find it very difficult to see any other team truly giving them a run for the Serie A title unless injuries or a COVID bout or something like that takes them out. That being said, like you said, I'm pausing for a moment here on the 1.5 line, as Torino have certainly not been a pushover this season. Through 18 games, they haven't lost a single game by more than 1 goal, and that includes, of course, playing everybody else in the league, because this is the last game on the first round through. So they've played Napoli, Juventus, AC Milan, Atalanta, Roma. Oddly, going towards your undercard, they've 4 of those games against those big 5 teams, they lost by the exact same 1-0 scoreline. So good for the under. The only one that wasn't that was against Atalanta, which was 1-2. So just a push on that total. Inter has won 3 of the last 4 head-to-heads by at least 2 goals is the one stat that's kind of favoring them here. Inter clearly have the better numbers, plus 1.45 expected goal differential, a whopping 2.43 expected goals per game, 17.6 shots, 6.9 goal, all lead the league. But as I mentioned, Torino have been solid, plus 0.44 expected goal differential, thanks to a strong defense. You mentioned, Carm, allowing only 0.98 expected goals allowed, 9.8 shots, and 3.1 on goal, all within the top 4 in the league. Torino's best chance in this game, keep it tight, keep it low scoring, hope for a ball to break their way. and like they've done against all the Big Six teams with their defense this year, is play them low scoring. So I also lean under this game, but I think 3 is a pretty tight number. So another way to play this, besides just taking the under, is I think Carmen and I both agree that Inter Milan are likely to win this one. So you can pair Inter Milan to win and under 3.5. So you get an extra half goal here at minus 110 odds currently at DraftKings. And I think that's a great combo play for this match as well.
Nick Borrman at WagerTalk.com. Nick, that is actually a very good play. I like that, Inter to win and under 3.5. Devoid of any early miscues or any penalties in the game. I just don't see how they get over this total. But this is why they play the games. And I don't advocate laying a lot of juice on games. But when I look at the futures market here, like I said, and as you mentioned, unless COVID hits or a slew of injuries, this Inter team is looks like they are the best team in Serie A, and they're only about minus 225 right now to win the league with a 4-point lead. So that's not a bad price at minus 225. Again, I usually don't advocate laying a lot of juice, but to win the league for a team that you believe is going to be there at the end and likely on top and have the lead, it's not a bad price. All right, let's head into the second Serie A game. This one is Sassuolo and Bologna. I put this game on there because Sassuolo has made anyone who's followed this show over the last month and a half or so a lot of money if you followed guys like Nick and Pavlos and myself telling you about the totals in some of these games. Pavlos, we're going to go to you first on this one. Give me your thoughts on Sassuolo and Bologna. Odds up on the board, plus 105 for Sassuolo, 275 for the draw. Bologna 275 as the away dog here.
Yeah, anyone that's not betting on Sassuolo goals just doesn't like money. I mean, this team has been consistently scoring and conceding goals throughout the entire season. They are now they're coming off a 2-2 draw on the road against Fiorentina. We also predicted that the draw, Kevin had the draw as a best bet in last week's show. I had both teams to score. I think it's the third, probably the fourth time in a row that I do that. Now Sassuolo, they're unbeaten in their last 6. They have 2 wins and 4 draws. All 4 draws came by the exact same score of 2-2. They beat AC Milan and Lazio, while they held Napoli and Fiorentina to draws, and they are the real deal now. They're playing some really solid soccer, especially up front. Their defense is kind of naive. They concede goals left and right, but they seem to get the job done by their stunning offense. They have now seen both teams to score and over 2.5 goals in 15 of their 18 matches so far in the season, and in each of their last 12 matches. They have scored 2+ goals in 10 of their last 11 matches. At home, pretty similar stats. They have seen both teams to score and over 2.5 goals in each of their last 6. They scored 2+ goals in 4 of those, but also conceded 2+ goals in 4 of those. So that goes to show that they have no problem in scoring, but they do have problems in keeping clean sheets. Bologna, they're kind of struggling lately. They're coming off a 2-0 home loss to Juventus, where I believe that they should have scored. They have now lost 2 in a row. They conceded 2+ goals in all 3 matches. Bologna haven't been anything special on the road. They have kept just 2 clean sheets in 8 away matches so far. They conceded 2+ goals in 4 of those, but they did score in 6 of their 8 away matches. So last season, Sassuolo beat Bologna by 4-3 on the road before a 1-1 draw in this venue. Now, each of the last 7 matches between the two sides had both teams to score, and 6 of those also had over 2.5 goals. Bologna, they have fared well in this venue over the years. They have 3 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws. They have scored in all 7 matches. But when you look at this season, Sassuolo are playing much better soccer right now. Again, their defense is not so good, but their offense is just top notch. I looked at the odds on both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. It's at minus 130, but the way I'm going with this is taking Sassuolo over 1.5 team totals at minus 135. It's a slightly worse price, but I'd rather I'd rather take that at a similar price because at some point there's going to be an under, and I just don't see Bologna scoring 2 here. So yeah, I'll take Sassuolo over 1.5 team totals at minus 135.
All right, that's Pavlos Laguretos of SportsMemo with his take on the Sassuolo-Bologna game. And Nick, he mentioned, the goals, and you look at Sassuolo, Their last 6 games at home have produced 3 or more goals in those games. The only 2 were their first 2 games at home. The first one against Torino, who we mentioned, 8 games on the road, have only allowed 8 goals. They play much more defensive style. And a 1-0 win over Salernitana, who are the league's lowest scoring side this year. So give me your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for different analysis on this game, I don't have it. It's Sassuolo. Don't overthink it. You bet the over and you walk away. 15 of their 18 games this year have reached at least 3 goals. I know this number's set at 3, so yeah, it could ultimately push on 3, but I think it's much more likely to go over than it is going to be to stay under. All 3 of the games that stayed under, to echo what you said about the home games, all 3 of their games that stayed under in general this year happened in those first 6 games of the year. But since then, they've played to 12 straight games that have reached at least 3 goals scored. The worry, I do agree with Pavlos, is if it doesn't get to the goals, it's probably because Bologna is the one not contributing here. So I do like his play of just leaning on Sassuolo to be the team to score up multiple goals. Bologna don't have as nearly as many overs as Sassuolo. They're a little over 500 still, though. They have 10 of their 18 matches reaching at least 3 goals. But their defense has just been awful on the road. They allow 1.83 expected goals this season. So again, echo what Pablo said. I do like that team total over for Sassuolo. But Sassuolo's defense doesn't keep clean sheets either. So even though I don't trust Bologna fully, I don't trust Sassuolo's defense more so. So I will take the over. I'll keep it simple. Over 3 goals. Again, it could land right on the number, but I just don't see it staying under that total. 6 of the last 7 have reached at least 3 goals between these teams, and I see another one here this match.
All right, Nick Borrman, and he has, as he mentioned, a couple 5% plays up. So I'll mention a show promo you can get. Currently, there's already a deal on at WagerTalk, a week of plays for $99. We're going to go one step further. Use the coupon code WEEK69 and get an additional $30 off of that. So you'll get a week of plays for only $69. That's less than $10 a day. Over at SportsMemo, you can use the same one for Pavlos and get $30 off the $89 price and $59. And as he mentioned, he has a big 10-unit play going on, as well as a bunch of other plays. So instead of paying $35 for each for those 5% plays for Nick, you can get 7 days for only $69. It's a great deal. All right, guys, let's head over to the third game on today's card. We're heading to Spain and La Liga for this one. Villarreal and Alaves. Villarreal minus 225. The draw is plus 370. Alaves plus 745. The Villarreal line has actually gone up over the last day. I believe in some places I see it at minus 275 on this game. I'm going to go first on this, and then I'll pass it over to Pavlos. As a Juventus fan, I'm going to tell you, I'm not very happy about the fact that Villarreal are starting to play some very good football right now. That match day 6 win for them, where they went to Italy and beat Atalanta, and their win on the weekend at Real Sociedad was a very good one. This team is playing better football, much better with each and every game. But now they face an Alaves team, and if you watch enough of La Liga, you'll know Alaves is one of those teams that they just defend first. It's the type of football I don't enjoy watching. I like to see 2 teams go at it and not one team with 10 men behind the ball. But they will defend, they will counterattack, and it's one of those ones where if you look at the handicap again, this is as I mentioned in the Inter Milan game, this is another game where the handicap is now at minus 1.5. I'm just not comfortable laying a goal and a half here in a game where I somehow feel that Alaves can get a goal here. So with that said, I'm going to keep it short and sweet and to the point. I'm going to lean over the total here because I think we're going to see goals from both sides here, with Villarreal eventually winning this game. The total currently sits at 2.75, which is a split line of 2.5 and 3. So I'm going to go over the total of 2.75. And then because Pavlos is previewing this game with me, I'm going to take an exact score. Villarreal 2-1 plus 750. So there's some pizza money for you guys. Villarreal to win 2-1, exact score plus 750. Pavlos?
Yeah, I love that. I love that correct score. I was going to mention it. Yeah, the thing with Villarreal is because I've been studying this team since the start of the season. Their XG numbers and their overall numbers were kind of terrible, but there is a big but there because they were missing key man Gerard Moreno, and now that he's back, the team has been transformed to a juggernaut. I mean, they've won 5 of the last 6 matches. They beat Real Sociedad, they beat Vallecano, they beat Atalanta. Of course, 2 of those wins came in the Copa del Rey, where they scored 7 and 8 goals respectively. They have now scored 2+ goals in all 5 wins, and they scored 3+ goals in 4 of those. But keep in mind that there were 2 very easy matches in that span. Now, Villarreal, they've been great at home. 4 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws so far in the season. They've scored 14 goals and have conceded just 9. They've only lost to Barcelona and Manchester United in the last 6 home matches. They have 3 wins and a draw. They kept clean sheets in all 3 wins. And we just have to talk about this Gerard Moreno guy, which, if you look at his numbers last season, he was the leading scorer for Villarreal with 23 goals. The second scorer in that Villarreal side had 6. He also led the team in assists with 7 assists, while the second one had 6. First in expected goals in that team, first in expected assists in that team. So it goes to show that he's like Villarreal's Erling Haaland, like a Zlatan Ibrahimovic, like a Cristiano Ronaldo. Whenever one of these guys is missing, the whole team falls apart. But whenever he comes back, the whole team, even the defense, plays better. And I'm just going to switch it off to Alaves. They made a nice streak of 5 matches unbeaten in late November, I'm sorry, but now they've quickly reverted to old ways. They have now won just 1 of their last 7, and that match was actually a Copa del Rey match against a lower tier side. So they have 4 losses and 2 draws in that span, which they are, as I said, quickly reverting to their old habits of just struggling a little bit. They're now back inside the relegation zone with 15 points. They have been quite bad on the road with 1 win, 5 losses, and 2 draws. They have scored just 6 goals and have conceded 12. The 2 teams, they exchanged the home wins last season. Villarreal won at home by 3-1, but lost on the road by 2-1. 10 of the last 11 matches between the 2 sides had over 2.5 goals, and 9 of those also had both teams to score. So the way I'm going with this, a couple of days ago, I really liked the Villarreal to win and over 1.5 goals, or Villarreal -1, but those prices just plummeted to the ground. So I'm going to step it up a notch, and I'm going to take Villarreal money line and over 2.5 goals. The combo goes at plus 100, plus 105, something like that. And as an extra bonus, I like Gerard Moreno to score anytime, plus 115 at DraftKings, and I really love that prop. So yeah, maybe a 2-1 for Villarreal and Gerard Moreno to score, and we're all happy here.
Yeah, and I get it. Those are very good plays, Pavlos. And you talk about like Alaves dropping into the relegation zone, and this is where we normally see those teams that are 1 or 2 points out just inside the relegation zone, where they hit the road and they play a much more defensive style. They're looking to nab a point from let's say a top 10 side or a top 6 side. Villarreal is not a top 6, but they are top 10, I believe. So they're looking to steal a point. So it sometimes you'll see a slower game, but you look at some of the score lines between these 2 over the last a few years, 3-1, 4-1, and a couple 2-1 wins for Alaves in previous years, last 4 games in Villarreal. So hopefully we'll see some goals. I'm holding out for that 2-1 score line in this one, Pavlos. And then you mentioned Gerard Moreno. Who can forget? He's not on the show today. He's off today, but Kevin Dolan in last year's Europa Finals, he picked Villarreal to have a 1-0 lead at halftime with the goal scorer being Gerard Moreno, and I think that was like 30-1 odds. And
yeah, that was insane.
It was 1-0 at halftime for Villarreal. So kudos to our good friend Kevin Dolan, who will be back with us at our next show, which is in the new year on January the 11th. All right, guys, let's head to the last game and the biggest one in midweek. This is the biggest game by far. Sevilla and Barcelona. Sevilla plus 148 at home. The draw plus 240. Barcelona plus 210. Nick and Pavlos, you guys are going to look at this game. So Nick, I'll give you the go ahead. Give us your thoughts on this one.
I mean, if you start just looking at the head-to-head records of these teams, it's clearly going to favor Barcelona. Of course, most of those games were during the Messi era. This season, of course, we know Barcelona have been struggling. They couldn't qualify for the Champions League knockout rounds. They fell into the Europa League for the first time since Messi joined the team. Whatever was that, 50 years ago. They currently sit 8th in the Liga table right now, 16 points behind Real Madrid on the top. But they are only 3 points back of a top 4 spot, trailing surprising Rayo Vallecano. So I do believe they will get their Champions League qualification by finishing top 4. I actually looked to bet it last night. I looked at DraftKings. They don't have a top 4 up. I wanted to see what the price was on Barcelona to finish there, but it wasn't up. Regardless, the most surprising numbers on this season that I've seen out of any league right now is here with Barcelona. Yeah, I just mentioned, how they've been struggling for results. I couldn't believe this when I see it, and I update these every week, is according to expected goals, Barcelona are the top team in La Liga with expected goal differential at plus 0.87 per game, yet they're 16 points behind Real Madrid. They average 1.87 expected goals for, second to only Real Madrid, and they're allowing just 1 expected goal per game, which is third behind Atletico and Bilbao. The problem is they just don't have Messi to convert those chances. Another hard part of this game is all the injuries on both sides. Sevilla are without Acuna and Navas on defense, as well as Eric Lamela in the midfield, Nesri and Ocampos up front. I mean, there's a lot of key players that are not available for this match. Barcelona have some long-term absences we knew about and have known about for some time with their young stars, Pedri and Fati, both missing, along with Braithwaite. And then some newer injuries. Serginho Dest has been out for a few games now. And most recently, Memphis Depay has missed the last 2 games. So there's a lot of uncertainty as to what the lineups will be. But with all that said, the last 5 meetings between these teams has stayed under 2.5 goals. And I'm leaning that way here as well. As I already mentioned, Barcelona's good defensive numbers, while Sevilla are right there as well, allowing just 1.05 expected goals per game this season as well. So some uncertainty with the players, probably some reps. These guys haven't gotten a lot together. And then, of course, some history here pointing towards the under. So under 2.5 is currently minus 120. I think it's a decent price to take in this match.
Yeah, Nick, and that's a good take, and I echo your thoughts on looking at the under here. Yeah, Barcelona's game on the weekend was a exciting one, a 3-2 final, but that those goals came against El Shur, I think, to have the third worst. They're the third worst defensive side in La Liga this year. But it was a good game for them, even with some of the youngsters in the lineup. And you mentioned the injuries that are good, absent of about a 5-minute spell where they seem to have fallen apart defensively, allowed 2 goals in a 2-minute span, and blew that 2-0 lead before they pulled it out late to win that 3-2. I was a bit surprised by the Sevilla Atletico. It had as many goals as it did. I didn't think the total in that Sevilla game was 2, and we got 2 first-half goals before a 88th minute goal gave Sevilla the win there. I do like the under here. Pavlos, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this match would have been a match to watch, but right now, from what I'm reading, Barcelona are going to start a couple of youngsters up front because they have pretty much every attacker, every forward sideline with either injuries or something. And Sevilla also have a lot of key players. I think they get En-Nesyri back, which is a huge boost for their offense, but they have no wing backs. They have a couple of other players who are missing. So this is a match where I don't see a lot of goals either. I was trying to find something of value to pick here, and I don't know. Neither of these 2 sides is in very good form now. Sevilla, okay, they're in pretty solid form. They have 3 wins, 1 loss and 2 draws. Only one of those matches went over the total, and it was their last match against Atletico Madrid, where they scored a late goal. And the history in this between these 2 sides is also kind of leaning towards the under. Last season, they both played, they played 4 matches against each other, and all 4 were under the total, under 2.5 goals. What worries me a little bit, as Nick said, is the fact that Sevilla last won a league match at home against Barcelona. I think it's in 2007. No league wins against Barcelona. Oh no, they have one in 2015. So it's 2 wins since 2007 at home in league play against Barcelona. But this is in the time where, as Nick said, Messi was in Barcelona, and now that he's not, this entire Barcelona side is just struggling to get results. So I will also want to pair this with what Xavi, Barcelona's coach, said in a press conference a couple of days ago. He said that Barca has lost their style, and some of these players don't even know the fundamentals of football and passing play that I knew when I was 11. And I'm not sure if this statement will fire up the players or will throw them spiraling in some dark places. But this is a really tough match to predict. So the best thing I could come up with, odds-wise, is taking Sevilla or draw and under 2.5 goals at -110. Barcelona have been rather bad on the road this season. They've only beat Villarreal and Dynamo Kiev in all their matches. Their defense is kind of in shambles. They conceded twice against Elche, twice against Osasuna. They're just in a really bad place right now, and when I was looking at their lineups, they're going to field a couple of youngsters up front. So, yeah, I think Sevilla have what it takes to avoid the loss, and this shouldn't be a very high-scoring match. And that's why I'm taking Sevilla or tie and under 2.5 goals at -110.
All right, Pavlos Laguretos of SportsMemo with his take on the Sevilla and Barcelona game, a big one coming up. All right, guys, before we head into the best bet segment, one final reminder, it is $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk and SportsMemo. This is where you can get a featured cappers plays for only $25, that normally go for $25 and $35 for only $2. Tony Finn, NBA, up at WagerTalk, and Tokyo Brandon with international hoops play. You can get those plays for only a couple bucks. And at SportsMemo, Kevin Thomas with an NFL play. Again, inside the analysis section, there's some great promos you can take advantage of. All right, guys, our best bet segment is up next. We're going to look at, all 3 of us are going to head to the weekend card, Boxing Day in the EPL. Nick, you'll kick it off. Give us your best bet for the show and tell us what you have up at WagerTalk.
Sure. I'll start with what's going on at WagerTalk. 2 5% plays loaded, 1 Tuesday, 1 Wednesday. Great time to take advantage of that promo Carm mentioned. Week 69, get both plays included. So it's 7 days, $69, less than $10 per day. These 2 plays will sell for $70 combined just by themselves. So you get those included, plus another 5 days of soccer. And any days, there are a couple days coming up that don't have any soccer games, but don't worry. Those will be added on to your package. So you'll get 7 days of selections. It may go longer than 7 actual days, but you'll get 7 days of selections. So head over to my page at WagerTalk.com to check that out. All right, EPL Boxing Day action, looking at taking the over in the West Ham-Southampton game, which is currently set at 2 3/4 goals. 5 of Southampton's last 6 games have finished over their total, as their defense has struggled, conceding 14 goals in those 6 games. On the season, West Ham has had 6 of their 8 games at home finish over the total, averaging 3.5 goals per game, the second highest total in the league. And also, when these 2 teams meet in London, the series has produced 9 straight overs, with West Ham scoring 3 themselves in each of the last 4 meetings. So a lot of trends pointing here towards some goals. So I'll take over 2 3/4 goals, West Ham, Southampton, day after Christmas.
All right, Nick Borrman, WagerTalk.com. Pavlos, EPL, give us your Boxing Day winner.
Yeah, I'm taking. I'm going to talk about the Burnley versus Everton match. I'm taking Burnley or tie and under 2.5 goals at -120. This Burnley side hasn't been very flashy lately, but even so, they have lost just 1 of their last 6. They have 1 win, 1 loss, and 4 draws. This recent run has pushed them at the 18th spot of the league table with 11 points, just 2 points, inside the relegation zone. Their next match is on the road against Manchester United. So if they don't want to be stuck inside the relegation zone, they gotta win this one against Everton. An Everton side that has been pretty awful for quite a while now. I think it's been since late September where they have been simply terrible. They have won just 2 of their last 14 matches, 2 wins, 8 losses, and 4 draws. They beat Arsenal and Norwich, but both those wins were at home. They're struggling on the road. They have 1 win, 5 losses, and 3 draws on the road so far. They have scored just 8 goals and conceded 16. They have kept just 1 clean sheet in 11 away matches this season, and they have conceded 2+ goals in 6 of those. They have lost 4 of their last 5 on the road. They have a serious injury problem, especially up front. Calvert-Lewin, who is their best forward, has been out for quite a while. Now we hear reports that Richarlison, their other best forward, will be out for at least a month. So that leaves only Salomon Rondon up front, who is just not Premier League material. Yes, Everton do have a couple of nice wingers in Iwobi and Townsend and Gray, but these are not players that, they're not clear forwards. So Everton, they also have a couple of injuries at the back, especially with Digne and Mina, who are their best defenders. So this Everton side is just struggling a lot, even though they're coming off a 1-1 draw against Chelsea on the road. But take this result with a grain of salt, because Chelsea's defense has been rather loose lately. Burnley, they didn't play last week, so they'll be a bit fresher. And they've been much better since the signing of Maxwell Cornet from Lyon, who's been instrumental in this attack. And they've been doing much better, and they're always tough in the defense. So I just don't see Everton taking the win here. So, and I don't expect a high-scoring match either. So I'm taking Burnley or draw and under 2.5 goals at -120.
All right. Pavlos Laguretos, Sports Memo. Good luck with those. Guys, I'm heading to EPL as well, too, on Boxing Day. I'm going to look at the Aston Villa and Chelsea game. I'm going to take Chelsea here. They're laying 3/4 of a goal on the road here. That's a split line of -0.5 and a -1. Obviously their last couple games, disappointments, 1-1 draw with Everton and a scoreless draw against Wolves, but they're going to get back their players off the COVID list. They're missing their strikers, Havertz, Werner, Lukaku. They'll get them back here. And listen, Aston Villa have played well with Steven Gerrard taking over that team. They played extremely well, but their 2 losses have come against the top 2 teams, Liverpool and Man City. And now they face the team sitting in the 3rd spot, Chelsea. Chelsea's got to get back into that win column. They can't afford to drop points. And you're laying less than a goal here with that 3/4 split line. So Chelsea it is for me as your show best bet, minus the 0.75 split line of -0.5 and -1. All right, guys, we're signing off until January 11th when all of the leagues return from the break. But please don't remember the show promo. The 7-day all access has already been lowered to $99 at WagerTalk. You can actually get an additional $30 off using coupon code WEEK69. You'll get 7 days of plays for only $69. And over at Sports Memo for Pavlos, you'll get it for $59. So WEEK69 show promo. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. We're almost at 90,000 subscribers here. Let's hit that 90,000 mark. As always, guys, good luck with your wagers and happy holidays and a happy new year as well. We'll see you January 11th.
Now you can enjoy the happiness of the holidays for the next 6 months by paying less and making more money by getting 180 days of picks from your favorite handicapper at a huge discount. This limited time Christmas special gives you a 90-day all-access pass with a handicapper of your choice at WagerTalk.com, plus an additional 90 days of all-access passes at no additional cost, an $849 value. This comes out to just under $5 per day, includes all sports released and any 5% best bets, normally priced at $35 each. Your access with your handicapper will cover NFL through the Super Bowl, college football through the national championship, any NBA and NHL action, including playoff games played during access and the start of the MLB season. Plus, if your handicapper does UFC, soccer, tennis, or any sport, yep, it's included. Happy holidays from everyone at WagerTalk.